A good chunk of the season is past us now, Grant. I'd imagine the wear and tear is adding up for some players.
Yeah, it varies from guy to guy. You know, vets are usually dealing with something just from playing so many years. But, B.A., the rookies, they are learning now what it takes to be in NBA condition.
A look at the starting group for the Pistons. And it's Turner in at the 3. Fultz passes to Olajuwon. Oh, it's blocked by Bull. Now here's Porter. Jacks up a 3. Oh, drew the foul and almost hit the three-point bucket. But he'll head to the line for 3. And last season, the Pistons became the first team ever to triple their win total from the previous campaign.
Yeah, going from the worst record in the association in 2024 to a playoff team in 2025. And now they look to just keep on rising.
And he hits the first of 3. And the new front office for New Orleans aiming to set a high standard, Stan.
Yeah, B.A., amidst some adversity with help, the Pelicans have to focus what's in their hands to control and leave no stone unturned in chasing greatness.
And he's good on the second. Well, you need a real big-time star to win in this league. And Grant, the Pistons have that in Cade Cunningham.
Oh, my, B.A. It took until year 4 for him to really break through. Already a player who can impact the game in so many ways, but when his numbers go up across the board, that's doing something special.
And he makes all 3. And the Pelicans last season, Stan, just 21 wins, their worst record in over a decade.
Well, look, they were hamstrung by injuries, and that's been an issue for the last few years with New Orleans. When healthy, this team has the talent to compete in the West, but they haven't been able to stay healthy.
Back to Porter. A screen on Middleton. To the middle. 4 on the clock. Now the Pelicans in transition. Here's Fultz. Nice start for him. Sinking his first shot.
Good heads-up basketball. Sees an opening and capitalizes.
Just over a minute and a half in to the left side wing. Buries it from 3. 6 points for him.
You don't want to let him get into a rhythm from out there.
Here's Olajuwon. Good setup. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup.
And setting the tempo with an assertive move. Like, where was the defense on that play?
Well, when you are the aggressor this early, it is intimidating.
And the Pistons, another 3.
Yeah, you want to get him going as soon as possible. Great way for him to start this game.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if he gets into a good rhythm early, watch out.
Turner covers. Oh, it's blocked by Bull. And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played. And Detroit another 3.
He's really finding his rhythm here. I mean, smart move to keep feeding him the ball.
Yeah, when you have a guy playing like he has been recently, he's got to be the first option on every possession.
Green finds Middleton. And a miss there on the triple.
It's hard not to want payback when you give up a 3 at the other end, but it can force you to rush things.
Beyond the arc. And Detroit another 3.
Their ball movement on this run has been tremendous. It's led to a lot of good, clean, open looks.
Offensively, it's been a struggle for them.
Yeah, they need to string together some shots to have any kind of chance.
So timeout called here, the first for New Orleans. Let's go to the 2K leaderboard. We look at the last month's premier teams on the fast break. Detroit, second.
This team has been playing at a fast pace offensively, and it's worked out for them during this last month.
First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. Up top, Fultz.
Pistons, number 22. Personal foul. First team foul.
Pistons on D. Turner covers. Looking to win the run. And it's good on the lay-in.
He's a potent mix of effort and ability. Hard to shut down a player of his caliber.
From outside, off the mark. And it's Fultz with the ball for the Pelicans. 9-point game. And this is their first time matched up with the Pistons this year.
Just enough of a shot contest to bother him.
Detroit has gone 4 of 6 from deep to start this game. Well, with his foundation defensively, coach, everything else is a bonus for Ausar Thompson.
Yeah, and actually, B.A., he's becoming more proficient on the offensive end. The evolution of Ausar's game, that'll be a big part of this team's success going forward.
Here's Fultz, following the three-pointer by Detroit. This one for 3. Bull grabs the board.
He's looking pretty unsettled at the moment. Doesn't seem like he has a great feel for his shot.
Turner, it's hauled in by New Orleans. Coming off a win against the Hornets.
They really had a strong night shooting the basketball. They got hot and stayed hot.
No, you're not going to lose many games shooting the percentage they did. That takes a disciplined effort.
And let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
Thanks. Trey Murphy didn't dunk in a game until he was a high school senior. Crazy to think now with the length and the leaping ability he has. He said back then there were times where I'd have doubt or be a little stressed about my future. If I said I knew I'd end up here, I have been lying to you. Back over to you, Brian.
All right, thank you, Allie. Pelicans trail by 14. Fultz with it. Launches a 3. Bull grabs the board.
Now, he hasn't been great this quarter. The coaches need to try to figure out a way to get him going.
No good on the 3. Well, the Pelicans shooting has not been great early, just 27%. Back to Middleton. Pass to Fultz. Middleton looking around. Clock at 6. Here's Olajuwon. Takes one from 10 feet. The rebound by Willis. Willis has got his 4th rebound in this one.
I love how they've attacked the boards here in the first quarter.
Outside Porter. Here's the 3. Oh, no good.
Hey, sometimes you miss even under the best of circumstances.
Boy, they need something to go to regain some confidence.
No question. Way too many empty possessions for them.
Outside Fultz. Pass to Olajuwon. To get back on track. And so it's Detroit, up 14 as we wrap up the quarter. They've done well to disrupt the opposition, playing inspired defense. More NBA on 2K Sports right after this. And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. Boy, the Pistons have been rolling along.
I'll tell you what, throughout the first, they did a great job of just running their offense.
Yeah, and I love to see this kind of communication between teammates. Great player movement, great ball movement.
We've got Dion Waiters. And it's McDaniel in at the 4-man spot. So that's the group out there for New Orleans. And Stan, the Pistons' J.B. Bickerstaff, the runner-up last season for Coach of the Year.
Well, yeah, instead it went to Kenny Atkinson, who replaced him in Cleveland. But B.A. talking about landing on your feet, Bickerstaff showing again he can turn things around.
Waiters, that's good. The Pistons lead by 12. Second quarter of basketball, about a minute played so far. Here's Peeler. Off target from three-point range. Well, New Orleans shooting 27% in today's game. Not good. There's the three. And it's Thorpe with a rebound. Detroit has gone 5 of 10 from beyond the three-point line in this game. Here's Peeler. Pass to Roten. Shoots. The Pelicans pull it in. Here's Waiters. Stolen by Jackson. Jones in the post. Oh, nice fake, but the layup's off the mark. Pelicans trail by 12. Let's go with a three. Oh, he missed that one. 1 for 3 in this one so far. The Pistons have gone 0 for 4 in the second quarter. Here's Roten. Still no points. Jackson, the pass to Jones. Just 5 on the clock. Detroit needs to get off a shot. And again, the Pistons missing.
He didn't make them pay for that weak defense, but they just can't rely on him to miss those kind of shots.
Here's Waiters. Out to Hield. Three-pointer. And he parries his first look.
Yeah, no hesitation from the veteran Hield. A dangerous scorer in these catch-and-shoot situations.
And so the timeout by J.B. Bickerstaff here. He's going to take a minute to regroup with his players. Both teams deciding to change it up. As someone who helped make the game what it is today, what do you think of the modern NBA, Stan?
Well, look, B.A., skill level has never been higher. These players are the best that have ever played the game. We got more guys on the floor who can shoot the ball, more guys who can handle and pass. So the game is at its height. There is always going to be things that can be improved. But we've got to really appreciate what we're seeing in today's players.
And just executing at a high level. I mean, taking what the defense allows and putting in the work.
Yeah, come on. They're just having their way out there and continuing to press the advantage.
And so Jackson Jr. will bring it up for the Pistons. Their next game playing at home as the Pacers come to town. And that kicks off a string of 3 home games for them. Hits the trifecta. 24 points for him.
Well, they have leaned on him offensively with good reason. Efficiency will help you win a lot of games.
The long distance 3 is buried. Here's Jackson. Middleton covering. Pass to Turner from behind the arc. McDaniel pulls it in.
Defensive breakdown there, and they got lucky. He's not going to miss too many of those.
Now here's Green, defended by Jackson. Fade away. The rebound by Turner. The Pistons lead by 12. Jackson outside. The three ball. It's hauled in by New Orleans. McDaniel's got 4 rebounds now. And he drops in the layup off the glass. 7 points in the game.
The coach loves seeing chances from that range. Work that inside area.
And it gets even worse for them. I mean, he just waltzes down the lane, extending their advantage. Not good.
Well, it's not going to get any easier if they can't improve their defensive intensity. They got to show some fight.
Timeout called. The Pelicans and Detroit making a change here. Porter Jr.'s checked in. Olajuwon passes to Green. Outside Fultz. Fires the three. Rebound Detroit. This game coming on the heels of their win versus the Cavaliers.
And at the offensive end, they were lights out in that game. They found all sorts of ways to punish the D.
Yeah, and for a coach, seeing your schemes clicking like that is very rewarding.
To the paint. The shot is good. Fultz making the play. Fultz has got his 4th assist with that last one.
Well, he's building nicely off that first quarter. In a groove now.
Now here's Porter. 14 points for him last game against Cleveland.
So much of the offense ran through him. Looking at the assist total, we saw how unselfish he can be.
Turner covers. Ooh, and he took a hard foul on the shot. So he'll head to the line to shoot a pair.
Yeah, you never want to let shots at the rim go uncontested.
All right, guys, what do you think so far on the offensive approach for the Pistons?
I have to applaud their ball movement. They're moving the ball around, finding the best looks they can, and keeping everyone involved.
And not only that, they're off to a pretty hot start shooting from outside. They seem locked in tonight.
Nails it from beyond the arc.
And the defense is really allowing them too much room on the perimeter.
Porter against Fultz. Here's Olajuwon. And no good, trying to use the glass. Detroit leading by 15. About 3 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. Middleton covering. There's a screen by Bull. Top of the key. And again, it's Detroit converting.
Easy look when the defender isn't fighting over the screen.
Yeah, it's certainly worth it to disrupt the offense. Coaches notice that extra effort.
And that's not going to go. Misses at the buzzer. And through one half, it hasn't even been close. Detroit on top, leading by 17. And we'll be right back after halftime for the start of the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
Let's put this to a vote. What is the all-star of foods?
Barbecue chicken!
Now we'll take a look back at our featured game. That was quite a performance for the Pistons.
I've got to.
Thanks for joining us. Time to head back over to the third quarter with Brian Anderson.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the rout that it's threatening to be. Pelicans trail by 17. And on the floor for J.B. Bickerstaff as we get into the second half. And it's Turner in at the small forward. Here's Olajuwon. And a look now at the Detroit Pistons' upcoming schedule. On Friday, they head back home to host the Indiana Pacers. Then on Thursday, it'll be the Sacramento Kings coming to town.
And looking at the Bucks matchup, that will be game number 8 on the schedule for them. Starting to get into the full swing of things by then.
And it's Detroit with the ball. Porter looks it over. Puts up a 3. Connects again from distance.
He's got this defense scrambling. Even when they've got 2 guys on him, he finds a way to get to space.
And he's making some team history. He just tied the franchise record for 3-pointers in a single game. The 3 is up. The rebound by Detroit. Bulls got 7 rebounds in the game. And that one's good. 37 points for him.
Well, he's been in total control offensively, and the defense has had no answers.
Outside Fultz. Here's Olajuwon. Rejected by Bulls. And they're running. Turner inside. Second shot opportunity. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play. Detroit shooting their 4th attempt at the line tonight. And so the timeout by J.B. Bickerstaff here. He's going to gather the troops and talk it over. And right here, the 2K leaderboard shows us which teams made the most of their second chance opportunities last year. The 4th spot held by the Pelicans.
And this is a hustle stat. This team pounded the offensive glass, and it shows in their numbers from last year.
Trying to find a spark here.
Yes, indeed. A rough stretch offensively. They could really use a basket.
Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Thanks, guys. The Pelicans are looking to shoot more 3-pointers. Zion Williamson said the message has been pretty clear to get him up. That means we've got to play with pace. It helps me a lot just opening up my game. We have options everywhere out in the perimeter. It's definitely
good. Another from 3.
And he's now set the team record for most threes in a single game. What a shot he's got.
A lot of it stems from his confidence. Even when he misses, he's sure the next one's going in.
I mean, he's doing all he can. He needs help out there.
Just under 2.5 minutes into this 3rd quarter now.
Kevin Willis. Personal foul. First team foul.
The Pelicans have gotten 2 of 4 shots to go since the break. Releases. And good as it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. 9 points in the game.
Assisted buckets. Every team wants them. They show you're running effective team offense. Precise delivery on the pass. Led him perfectly.
Well, Grant, Tobias Harris has been around the league. What's his best asset?
You know, I think it's his reliability and versatility. Harris is always on the floor, having led the NBA in games played multiple times. And he just gets the job done.
Thanks to the AT&T Connected Cam for the up-close and personal view of that slam. And so it's Fultz who brings it up for the New Orleans Pelicans. 3rd quarter of basketball here. A little under 3.5 minutes gone by.
Yeah, those shots from him are certainly not helping their case.
The drive by Porter. Good on the shot.
Looks like we're starting to see a pattern here. Not afraid to get in the paint and get wet.
The Pelicans have gotten 4 of 7 shots to drop in the 3rd. Jones, he's checked in for Detroit. Here's McDaniel. No points yet. Pass to Fultz from deep. Jones grabs the board. Detroit leading by 22. And here's Porter. On the wing, Jones. Porter against Fultz. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Turner. McDaniel pulls it in. McDaniel's got 5 rebounds tonight. Uses the glass on the layup.
It's nice to see they're not settling for 3-pointers. These guys are putting in the work inside.
Now Porter. Pass to Turner. The three is up. Cash. Assisting on the play was Porter. Porter's got his assist totals piling up. 11 now for him tonight. Here's Olajuwon. Bull covering. The jump hook. Bull grabs the board. Bull's got double-digit rebounds now in the game.
2 minutes remaining in the third. 2 minutes.
Outside Porter. The three ball. And Detroit another three.
Their defense has to do a better job of smothering those shooters.
They're searching for a way to score.
Yeah, buckets have been very tough to come by.
Pass to Olajuwon. Over Bull. Olajuwon can't get it to go.
Great contest of the shot. Kind of forced him to fade back more than he'd like.
Now here's Porter. He's got 5. And here's Turner from the arc. It's hauled in by New Orleans. Olajuwon's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Middleton finds Fultz. Here's Olajuwon.
Detroit.
New Orleans calls timeout.
Yeah, hoping to tap into something that'll get them clicking.
Yeah, they just have to be more patient. Less forcing, more passing.
So both teams changing it up here. .105 left in the third quarter. Here's Wesley. No points so far. Clock at 4. Here's Weatherspoon. And again, no good by New Orleans. The Pistons have gone 8 of 13 in the second half. Here's Roten. Left side Jones. Let's go with a 3. And it's Roten missing. The Pelicans have gotten 5 of 12 shots to drop in the third. 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Defended by Jones. Pass to McDaniel. New Orleans needs to hurry. Late clock. Here's Wesley. And the Pelicans miss again. And so it's Detroit, already up 26 points as this quarter ends. Defense is setting the tone. All right, we'll get back to the action after this break. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
You have to love his unselfishness and ability to make those around him better.
Well, he really just helps tie this team together. They know they can count on him to set them up.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may already be out of hand. We've got Dion Waiters, and it's Wesley in at the point. So that's the group out there for New Orleans. Jackson on the wing. Intercepted. Here's Waiters. Well, some lament the death of the mid-range jumper in today's game. Grant, you got any fixes?
Well, some have suggested cutting out the corner threes. If the three-point line was only like above the break, teams would probably need to rely more on that mid-range.
Here's Waiters. Off target from outside.
Another miss. At some point, they need to tap someone else for a boost offensively.
Here's Roten. Shot clock at 6. There's the triple. Unable to get that one. New Orleans is shooting only 33%. Not exactly consistent offense. Pass to Fields. They set the pick. Here's Waiters. The rebound by Jackson.
I mean, he's trying to shoot his way out of what's becoming a prolonged cold streak.
Yeah, I get it, but you don't want him forcing things. It's better to get your shots within the flow of the offense.
Jones up top. Out left to the wing. And he's going for the lob.
Oh, what a perfect pass to set that up.
Hey, the feed might have been pretty, but the finish, that was angry. Boy, they'd love if anyone could get a bucket.
Yeah, their offense has been grinding to a halt.
We're in the fourth quarter here. Just under 2.5 minutes gone by. And that one's good.
Xavier, get the board!
Oh, that slipped out of my hand.
Watch that shooter! Outlet! Back up! Start! Woo! Get that! Start! Get to him! Start! Jump ball! Inward!
Coming up next, the Spurs taking on the Jazz. For the San Antonio Spurs, DB, when you look at these two teams, some very interesting talent on each. Buster.
You are so right, Kevin. Very young talent, but they certainly look like they are on track to be the future of our league. And I'll tell you what, they're still pretty fun to watch in real time.
And the starting group for the Spurs. Matisse Thybulle's out there at Fox. And there's Jackson. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins. And it's Noah in at the 4. The wide open look here for Fox. That's good. And it's Jackson with the assist that time.
And three-point shooting isn't one of Fox's main strengths, but he's working on becoming more consistent.
Lets it go from deep. Hits it from three-point range.
The wheel. Come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
And you would expect nothing less from these two, taking pride and making plays.
Here's Cousins, and the Spurs scoring again.
Oh, smooth mid-range shot by Cousins, flexing his ability to shoot from the outside.
Right now, let's take a moment here to catch up with Allie LaForce on the sideline.
I briefly spoke with Will Hardy. We talked about Victor Wembanyama and what he wants to see from his team defensively, and he said, I want to see us knock him off balance a little bit, be tough, physical. That's how you get into his head, and that's how you frustrate him. Expect to see a lot of defensive aggression against Wembanyama tonight. Kevin?
All right, Allie, thank you so much for that. And last season, the Utah Jazz DB finishing with the worst record in franchise history.
And that, Kevin, is a striking contrast from a period of time where the Jazz, one of the league's winningest teams. But you start to lose in the hopes that you can get high draft picks. But for all of that losing the season ago, they slide in the lottery, and patience is required yet again.
The Spurs shooting their first shots from the stripe in this game.
And last season, 77% from the line. They could usually get the job done there. But he's got a great stroke from the line. That's not something we can say about all the league's big guys.
Jazz working now with the fresh shot clock. For three, Murray. It's rebounded by Noah.
Boy, that's brutal. 1 for 5 to start. You have got to find your footing offensively.
The three. Good, and a nice assist from Fox. Fox has got his third assist on the night.
And what a way to start this game, dominating at both ends. of the floor.
And give them credit for approaching this game with the right energy and intensity. This team has attacked every chance they've gotten.
Murray outside. Screen by Batadze. Another miss by Utah. On offense, here are the Spurs. They're on a 13-3 run. Jackson, a screen on Murray. Over to the wing. And a wide open look for Noah. Plenty of room to knock down the shot. Noah's got 10 points.
And you know what? They've been on a nice run here. Had the ability to widen the gap. Now they are rolling.
This is a dominant stretch. I am so impressed with how they've played together as a unit over this last stretch.
Building up a big early lead, they have taken charge of this game.
And they've been doing it largely at the offensive end. If the defense does not adjust, this could be a blowout.
Outside Tatum. Noah with the block. First quarter play and just over 3.5 minutes in. Hands it from downtown. He's got 15.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
And so the timeout by Will Hardy here. He's going to take a minute here to get things straightened out. Now we have a chance. Let's take a look at the teams that led the NBA in rebounding last season. The 4th spot held by the Jazz.
Well, they made a huge commitment to rebounding last year, and it showed in the numbers. They were spectacular.
On the wing, Malone. Pass to Murray. Just 4 to shoot. The 3 from Tatum. DeMarcus Cousins comes up with the rebound. Spurs leading by 17. Thibault, the pass to Fox. To the wing on the left. Here's Noah. Good, and it's Fox who picks up the assist. Fox has got 6 assists now in the game.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Fox against Murray. Will it go? It's good from long range.
And you can run the offense through Murray. He's a big, skilled combo guard who can score and pass it.
Fox with it. Pass to Noah. Jacks up a 3. The rebound by Batadze.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
It's up a 3. Sinks the triple. He's got 9.
Boy, this guy has been absolutely outstanding this quarter. You love what he's doing out there right now.
Here's Noah. Launches it. It falls for his 7th bucket of the contest. He's 7 for 9.
As hot as he's been this quarter, the game plan is simple, folks. Get him the ball and get out of the way.
To the middle. Rebound, San Antonio. Coming into this, having notched a win against the Rockets in their last game.
And, you know, they played a terrific all-around game. The effort level was there as well as the production.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was hard to imagine them being much better at the offensive end. They were so efficient in almost every aspect.
Tatum on the wing. .46 seconds left here in the first quarter. Takes a 3. It's rebounded by Noah.
And he just hasn't been able to make anything this quarter.
Jackson with the screen. Thibault for 3. The rebound by Jason Tatum. To the paint. Here's Malone. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. This is his first free throw of the game.
And not the guy you want to see at the line too often. Season numbers has him in the bottom tier of the league.
2 shots.
That free throw missing. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. And no good on the second free throw, so he goes 0 for 2 there.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Pass to Favors. Now, here's Culver. Offline with his 3. And an overpowering first quarter effort. Already a double-digit advantage. It's the Spurs. They lead by 18. And we'll be back with you right after this. And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for San Antonio.
They look to fire as much as possible from outside the arc, and so far they are hitting at a high clip.
You know, also, they've been incredible on the fast break, taking those chances, playing with great pace. Turner is out there with George Niang. Then it's Jones, and it's Matthews in at the 1 spot. That's the group for Utah getting going here in the second. Bounce pass from Favors. Culver, and Jones pulls it down. Jazz trail by 18. And Greg with Stephon Castle winning the 2025 Rookie of the Year award. The Spurs went back-to-back in that category.
Yeah, of course, Victor Wembanyama winning that same award in 24. Just more confirmation that these Spurs are building something special.
Inside, and Favors gets it to go in on the assist from Hardaway. Favors has got the first basket of the second quarter for San Antonio. Back to Matthews. The Jazz working the ball around now. The 3. Abrinas' shot is off. Spurs leading by 20. Here's Culver. And Derek Favors with the slam.
And just scrapes and claws for that offensive rebound and doesn't take any chances there with the putdown.
GA, strong work all around. And the rebound and the stuff both. Wow. Abrinas. And once again, off the mark by Utah. And we're about 2 minutes into the second quarter here. And so Mitch Johnson decides to call timeout.
Timeout.
He's going to take a few moments here to check in with his team and regroup. On the Spurs with some changes. Noah's checked in, and Matisse Thybulle subbed in for Culver. Jazz on D. Nothing offensively yet from them in the second quarter. 5 to shoot. In the corner, it's Noah. Good, and it's Fox who picks up the assist. Fox has got 9 assists now tonight.
And this is the game plan for him. He's a big part of their floor spacing.
And right now, Greg, he is doing a great job delivering for this team. Productive and efficient.
And let's go to the sideline. Here's Allen.
Thank you. Victor Wembanyama is trying to gain strength, but he said it's important not to lose your mobility. So bulking up is not a good word. It's more being stable. That's the way to keep going. I don't need to bulk up. I need to get my core stronger. I need to get solid. Back to you guys.
That approach makes sense. All right, Allie, thank you for the report. Murray, the pass to Malone. Offensive struggles continue. Missing again. Thybulle kicks to Fox. Back to Thybulle. Favors looking over the floor. There's a good screen. Fox inside the line. Rebound by Murray. Utah's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. And Doris, when you look around the league, there are still a handful of players coming along from off-season injuries.
Yeah, and Kev, this is a very tough balance for coaches to have to navigate. You have to protect your guys that have a history of injury, but at the same time, it's eventually go time. We got to win games here.
Fox, no good. Jazz have gone an abysmal 0 of 6 from the field since the second quarter began. Here's Abrinas. No scoring in this one.
At some point, do you start to think about getting others involved? It has been a struggle.
Here's Buckner, and there's the whistle. Illegal screen. Let's take a look at last year's leading shot blockers. You don't want one of these guys in front of you when you're coming down the lane.
Timeout.
And you look at Thibault, a fierce inside defender, tops in the NBA in blocks. And, of course, Karl Malone. He can also get after it. Such a great shot blocker.
And when either of those guys are on the floor, that low post defense is immediately something their teammates don't have to worry about. That's a very comforting feel.
Here's what Utah's going with right now. Goga Bitadze comes in for Jones. And it's Jason Tatum in for Alex Abrinas. Pass to Noah from past the arc. Drills the three-pointer. Noah's got 9 points now in the quarter.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Fires for three, and Utah another three.
Individually, he's trying to lift the team. You've got to love the effort, but thus far, not getting over the top.
Wing shot on the way, and it's good off the back of the rim and in. Noah's got 33 points.
Boy, for the most part, when they have gone through him, he has delivered.
Murray surveying the D. And Utah again with the bucket. Utah comes into this one after the win against Chicago. Pass to Thibault. 1:16 left in the first half of the game. Off target from three-point range. The Jazz shooting only 27% from the field, looking pretty ugly out there. From the arc, and Utah another three.
And having a whale of a game from three-point range. Drained 3 of them in that first quarter and has added 3 more here in the second.
Here's Noah. Good, and it's Fox who picks up the assist. Noah's got 36.
Boy, his offensive game has changed the tenor of this basketball game.
Outside Tatum from downtown. Rebound San Antonio. Noah's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Jackson passes to Fox. And here is Noah. Off target from outside.
I'm not sure he expected to be that wide open and yet somehow comes away empty.
Now here's Murray. Back to Tatum. Rebound by DeMarcus Cousins.
Well, this guy typically a nice touch from mid-range, but obviously can't make them all.
Pass to Noah from outside the arc. Connects again from distance.
He's scorching hot. Another 3.
And he's approaching the franchise record for threes in a game. And so it's San Antonio in complete command. Their lead at 28 points going into the break. Their defense has been active and effective. And we've got more M2K Sports coming your way after this break.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Let's first take a gander at the rest of the NBA schedule for the night and what's in store. For the Knicks, they'll be up against the Kings out in Sacramento. 7:30 Eastern for the tip-off in that one. And looking now at that first half where everything was going wrong for the Jazz.
It ain't rocket science.
And that'll do it for half.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. Now Murray getting underway now in the second half, and here's the 5 for Mitch Johnson. We got DeMarcus Cousins. Matisse Thybulle's out there with De'Aaron Fox. And there's Jackson, and it's Noah in a power forward. Well, we know the Jazz have been up front. Before you can rebuild, Doris, you got to tear down, and that's what they've done.
And Kevin, that requires extraordinary patience. You have to be willing to trade away veterans who can contribute to winning, and you have to be willing to prolong the process in order to get max returns. But be under no illusions. Losing is hard on everyone.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
There's the 3, and again for 3. buries his 10th triple of the game.
Unbelievable.
And Murray's got the ball here for the Utah Jazz. They'll be hosting Orlando for the next one. And that game is the second of 2 straight at home. Utah calls timeout. And they're on the 2K leaderboard of the teams that have been tormenting opponents defensively this month. The Jazz, number 1. In the 3rd spot, the Spurs.
I think these teams have made the adjustments defensively, and both are seeing their defensive numbers rise.
A three-pointer is right on target. 24 points for him.
Coming off a big game, his confidence couldn't be higher, and Coach knows it.
Well, the best players, to me, deliver night after night after night. So as long as he's hot.
Good! Another from 3.
He's got this defense scrambling, and even when they've got 2 guys on him, he just finds a way to create space.
And he's making some team history. He just tied the franchise record for three-pointers in a single game. Thibault on the wing. Fox passes to Noah. That one goes. Count it. Noah's got 47 points.
Boy, you have got to be pleased with the start of this 3rd quarter. 3 for 4 out of the gate. Just keep your rhythm now.
Right wing. The tray. San Antonio with the rebound. Noah's got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. Thibault kicks it to Noah. This one for 3. Rebounded by the Jazz. And here is Murray. Outside Tatum. That's in there. Murray with the assist. Murray's got 9 assists in the game. Great passing. Well, late first-round pick Doris back in 2022. Walker Kessler proving he was a sleeper. He has shown a lot for sure.
Oh, no question about it, Kevin. We are talking about a guy who's got size. He's consistent on the backboards. But there's an offensive arsenal there that maybe was a bit unexpected.
And it's out of bounds. Utah able to retain possession here. And now a look at the upcoming schedule for the Utah Jazz. On Saturday, they'll defend home court against the Orlando Magic. Then on Friday, they'll head out on the road to face the Hawks in Atlanta.
And looking at the Philadelphia matchup, things starting to solidify as that game is going to be number 10 on the year for them. Team getting sharper every time out.
San Antonio's gone 2 of 5 with the three-point shot since coming out of the break. Now let's take a minute to talk to Allie LaForce courtside. Allie.
Thanks a lot. A big win here or there can really...
Connects again from distance.
He's now set the team record for most threes in a game. Unreal.
And a lot of it stems from his confidence. Even when he misses, he's sure, he's positive the next one's going to go in. The offensive rebound.
And all you got to do is look at the rebounding margin as to why they hold the lead.
Well, they've absolutely dominated that category in this one, and it's reflected in the score.
Fox kicks it to Noah. Rebound, Utah.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Lets the 3 fly. Drills it from outside. 27 points for him.
And you can see room for improvement in Murray's passing, but the strong foundation is there.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. making a switch here. Matthews is checked in. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Derek Favors checked in for Cousins. Culver comes in for Jackson. Tim Hardaway Jr. is checked in for Matisse Thybulle. And Buckner subbed in for De'Aaron Fox.
Boy, bringing tremendous energy right now, and his teammates are absolutely feeding off it.
Matthews with it. Still scoreless. Tatum no good.
Boy, not his best quarter. He's trying to break through.
Buckner the pass to Hardaway. A three-pointer off the mark. And here's Tatum. He'll bring it up for Utah. Matthews scanning the floor. And Tatum with the basket on the assist by Matthews. Tatum's got 5.
It took a long time for him to get that first triple. Let's see now, though, if he can get going.
Favors sets the pick for Culver. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. Tatum finds Murray. Malone a screen on Hardaway. Wide open look here for Murray, and Utah another three.
Yeah, Murray shoots from range at a terrific clip. As he continues to get dialed in, he's going to be a real threat out there.
Pass to Hardaway. Three-pointer on the way. Jazz have gone at a pretty good shooting pace. They're 6 of 13 from the field here in the third. Outside Tatum. Malone sets the pick for Tatum. And Utah another three.
That's a dozen straight points coming off the triple.
Noah with the screen on Matthews. Pass to Noah. Shoots the three. Jason Tatum grabs the board. Tatum's got 6 rebounds in the game. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Matthews with it. Culver covering. Malone sets the pick for Matthews. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Malone can't hit. Here's Culver over Tatum. And so it's San Antonio sitting on a 21-point lead to end the quarter. They've been playing some inspired defense, giving up. And let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the floor generalship right here? I mean, showing us why.
You got it. Switch. I see him. Hey. Step out. Pick coming. Corner. Yo, watch here. Get here.
Timeout. Hard away. Corner. Yo, kick it out. Hey. Sweet. What's the roll? Come to me. Yo! Switch! No. Right here. Shoot that. Get it.
Nice hit.
Hey.
That's all you.
Oh, that's all day, man.
Give on. Screen. Hey, woo.
A quick peek into the locker room as the players get set for the game ahead, looking to make a big. Thanks for joining us on 2K Sports. What's better than NBA basketball on a Saturday night? We're here to bring you the action. I'm Brian Anderson, and with me tonight, Grant Hill and Tim Legler. And down on the sidelines is Allie LaForce. Here are the five for Philadelphia. They've got Chris Dunn. Otto Porter is out there with Mason Plumlee. And it's Donaldson in at the center, filling out the middle. Oh, got a piece of it. Cousins with the steal. Fox, the pass to Thibault. Up and over Dunn. The bank shot, no good. And midway through the season, is this the point in the schedule where players start to feel some fatigue set in?
Oh, yeah. The adrenaline of the beginning of the year has worn off at this point. Everybody is feeling it. This is when you're counting on that preseason conditioning to get you through the rigors of a very long season.
Rest and recovery, most important thing this time of year.
No substitutes for those.
6 to shoot. Pass to Donaldson. Philadelphia moving it around. And here's Porter outside. Rebounded by the Spurs.
Practically a block. Good, strong challenge.
He didn't quite get a hand on it, but he did enough to affect the miss.
I just love the ball movement.
Every trip up the floor gets more and more important.
Yes, indeed. They badly want to stop the bleeding here.
Fires it. And he buries that one. Back rim and in.
He just brings a great feel for the game at the offensive end.
Fox with the ball.
76ers foul. Number 23. First personal foul. First team foul.
You start to feel yourself a little bit, and that feeling.
Just over 2.5 minutes played here in the first. Back to Plumlee. Shot clock at 5. Pass to Donald.
They've done a great job at both ends.